You've probably heard this many times before. You have the potential to do anything you want and to become whoever you decide to become. You are capable of fulfilling all of your dreams and desires, every single one of them. You're the only one who can stop yourself from succeeding in life. Now that you have been told it is possible you can achieve whatever you want in life, do you believe it? Do you believe that it's possible for you to create your own dream life? Not the life that you were given when you were born, but your own dream life. What's stopping you from achieving it? What's stopping you from turning your dreams into reality? A recent study reported that over 50% of Americans hate their job. Over 50% hate what they do for the majority of their time on planet Earth. They wake up in the morning knowing that they have to go to a job that they hate. This is not only happening in America, it's happening all around the world. I think deep down, all of these people are capable of living a better life, capable of earning better money and doing things they enjoy if they are willing to work for it. But what stopped these people from living their dream life?
Think about a balloon filled with helium. There's absolutely no limits for a balloon filled with helium unless it were tied to something. If the balloon is tied to something, then it's impossible for it to reach the sky. It is impossible for it to reach its highest possible level. That's the only limitation a balloon has. The same thing can be compared to you and your life. You are limitless, just like the balloon. Your limitation is not visible. You're not tied down like the balloon. The only thing that ever stops you from reaching the sky is yourself. If you limit yourself, if you settle for less than you're worth, if you listen to others and downgrade your expectations to fit into this world, then you will never reach the heights you know you deserve. You were not born with limitations. You develop them through your life experience. But you can decide now to develop new beliefs, a belief that you can have whatever you want in life if you are prepared to work for it, that you can have whatever you want in life if you are prepared to learn what is required to have it. Imagine what you could achieve if you believe you were limitless. Imagine what you could do if you just ignored that voice in your head that tells you that you can't do it. I don't see failure as the end, and I refuse to let setbacks or mistakes stop me from reaching my goals in life.
I am responsible for my dreams. I am responsible for my results. Who can stop me from turning my dreams into a reality? I have the power to make my dream happen. I have the choice to decide if I will work hard for it or just settle. I have the choice to see how far I can go in life.
Those who succeed don't believe in limits. They study until they understand. They don't give up when they experience doubt. They don't give up when it's hard. They do not give up, full stop. They keep working hard even if they've been rejected. They keep at it. They keep searching for new opportunities. That's exactly how you have to be. Life is hard, and you'll never get far if you limit yourself in anything you do.
I have the power to make my dream happen. I have a choice to decide if I will work hard for it or just settle.
This is your life. Live it to your fullest potential. You can't change your past, but you do have the power to change your future.
My commitment and obsession is always to be better today than I was yesterday. If I have to make sacrifices to do that, so be it. If I have to tell that person I can't go out drinking with him anymore, so be it. Because that's not what I value. Anything or anyone that is taking me further away from my dreams has to go. I'm committed to self-development, not self-destruction. And you know, any person that is meant to be with me on the journey will choose that higher road with me. Yes, a tougher road, but it's a much more rewarding one. I want my life to mean something, to be able to look back at my life and say, yeah, I made some tough decisions, but they were the right decisions. So many people don't get it. They piss their life away every weekend for what? So they can complain about their current circumstances for the rest of the week? Screw that! No chance! I'm in charge of my own life. It's all on me. I take responsibility, I take action, and I get shit done. You will never hear me complain about another person or circumstance as the reason I'm not where I want to be. If I don't like where I am, time to knuckle down and work harder. I am a perfect reflection of the hard work or lack of work I put in. And luck, that only comes to those who have paid their dues. If I am weak in a certain area, it won't be for long because I'm committed to be better. I will learn. I will read. I will make it happen. I will find a way. I will work until that weakness is turned into a strength.
You're still here. And you get another chance this day to do better and be better. Another chance to become more of who you were created and what you were created to fulfill.
Everyone in the world is capable of living outside the role or beyond the roles that they place themselves in, no matter what it is. You're not just a dad, you're not just a banker, you're not just a brother or a son or a convict. It doesn't matter. Like, everyone is bigger, much bigger, infinitely bigger than the roles they place themselves in, and is capable of reaching potential greater than anything they could imagine.
You can live the life you desire. It's right there in front of you. But in order to achieve it, you must first see it, then believe it, and then you must graciously ask and train your brain to help you execute your vision.
So when you start to focus and you delete distraction from your life and you start to get seriously invested in doing one thing staggeringly well, and you practice that one thing over and over, a term to think about is mundanity. You do one simple, seemingly insignificant thing every day around your main skill, and it's very mundane, but small daily improvements over time lead to world-class results. Well, here's what happens in your brain. You start to isolate a single neurocircuit around that skill, and that starts to trigger a certain type of brain cell called an oligodendrocyte, which then releases myelin. Myelin is a fatty tissue that starts to wrap around that single neurocircuit related to that main skill you've been practicing. And when myelin starts to wrap around the brain circuit, what happens is you have accelerated learning times, you can see more quickly, heightened perception, and you'll learn more quickly. And that is really the quote-unquote secret of the great producers. It's not a result of some natural gift, but their daily practice, their relentlessness and their grit, their work ethic, and their singular focus and sacrifice. A great life is built not by revolution. A great life is built by evolution. Small and steady wins the race. What you do every day is far more important than what you do once every decade. I want you to really think about that idea. What you do every day is simply your life in miniature. And as you live every single day, so you're crafting your life. What you do over the next hours is really building your future. And if you can just get every single pocket of 24 hours right as best as we humanly can, the rest of our life is going to take care of itself. So small wins matter.
The scripture says we will eat the fruit of our words. You are planting seeds when you talk. At some point, you're going to eat that fruit. My challenge is make sure you're planting the right kind of seeds. If you want apples, you have to sow apple seeds. If you want oranges, you can't plant cactus seeds, poison ivy seeds, mushroom seeds. You're going to reap fruit from the exact seeds that you've been sowing. In other words, you can't talk negative and expect to live a positive life. You can't talk defeat and expect to have victory. You can't talk lack, not enough, can't afford it, never get ahead, and expect to have abundance. If you have a poor mouth, you're going to have a poor life. If you don't like what you're seeing, start sowing some different seeds. We may not realize it, but we're always feeding ourselves. What we watch, listen to, the people we're around, the thoughts we're dwelling on, that's feeding our inner man. If you go to lunch with people that talk bad about the boss, make fun of a coworker, put down a friend, they're feeding you gossip, feeding you jealousy, feeding you disrespect. Here's the key. Whatever you feed is going to grow. You may not like what they're feeding you. You're a nice person. But if you continue to hang around them, before long, you'll be gossiping. You'll be critical. You'll be disrespectful. Why? Because you kept feeding the wrong things. If you're always feeding negative thoughts, thinking, I'll never get well, I'll never meet the right person, you're feeding doubt, feeding mediocrity, feeding fear.
If you know exactly what you want to be, you need to spend as much time with people that are actually that already. You cannot let a fear of failure, or a fear of comparison, or a fear of judgment stop you from doing what's going to make you great. You cannot succeed without this risk of failure. You cannot have a voice without the risk of criticism. And you cannot love without the risk of loss. You must go out and you must take these risks.
You don't have the time to waste time, because time doesn't wait till you discover.
What does it take to be perfect? What does it take to exceed greatness? I have spent a lifetime searching for a formula that doesn't exist. Because when it's all said and done, it comes down to the 24 hours you're given and what you're prepared to do with it. In this life, there are people who hustle and there are people who watch. You simply need to choose who you are. I don't care if you want to be the next bodybuilder, the next CEO, the next entertainer, because it all comes down to a work ethic. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you're not willing to sacrifice for your dream, then you don't have a dream. I refuse to sit back and watch another man go after the same dream I have had since I was a child. I refuse to sleep tonight knowing I didn't give 100% in the 24 hours I was given, because nothing in this life is guaranteed. Nothing. So the next time that alarm goes off, I want you to think about this moment. You've got 24 hours to find a way to grind harder, to live harder, to fight harder. Because without that progression is failure. And understanding that is a step towards perfection.
Maybe you think, no, life isn't that hard. It's like, not only is it that hard, it's even harder than you think. So you're going to be tested, that's for sure. And if you have a sustaining meaning, then well, Nietzsche said himself, he who has a why can bear any how. Why would you look in the darkest places? Because in the darkest places you could find what still shines. If it can shine in the darkest places, then you know it's a real light. And so you look at things you don't want to look at. You have to look at the things you don't want to look at. Well, why do meaningful things? Well, first of all, what is meaning? But then why do meaningful things? And the answer is, well, because life is suffering and malevolence. It's ineradicable at its core. It's like, that will take you out. Make no thing to, you need to be armed with virtue in order for that not to turn into hell. Really, you really need that. And it isn't just your hell, that's bad enough. That can be really bad, especially when you're contributing to it, right? Because then not only are you suffering, but you know you're the agent that's producing the suffering. And then maybe that's not just for you, it's like you're taking out your family. If you're really good at it, you're taking out large swaths of your community. That's hell. It's like, and that's real. And no one with any sense and any experience has any doubt that that's real. And then they all can easily think of how, even though it's already bad, you could make it way worse. Everyone knows that. So what's the bulwark against that? Nobility of purpose. That's it. You have that, then you can, then you have something to set against the suffering and the malevolence. And you need, it isn't optional. That's not optional. You cannot live without it.
Meaning is not optional, right?
Well, that's why it's such a deep instinct.
Right.
It's an instinct, meaning. It's the instinct of life. My life is meaningless. It's the spirit has gone out of you. It's like, well, and you know, modern people, it's part of this process of criticism. We've criticized the idea of meaning so much that we don't really believe in it anymore. It's like, well, that's fine. You can not believe it, but try living without it and see how far you get with that. You need a reason to get out of bed on a terrible day. Okay, what's that reason going to be? Well, let's think it through. You know people who can get out of bed on a terrible day. Do you admire them? Yes. But are they taking responsibility for themselves? Definitely. Do they have excess capacity, so they're taking responsibility for other people? Difficult things? Yes, obviously. The more you respect them, the more you also see that they're doing difficult things and doing them well. So what does that mean? Do some difficult things. Do them well. So pick up your goddamn burden and walk up the hill. So, yep, I get it. And people do get it. And it's not surprising because that's the alternative to hell. Accept the burdensome condition of suffering voluntarily, and you transcend it. You've got a problem with the world? Hey man, no wonder you have a problem with the world. Like, the world is a pretty rough place and it could use some work. It's like, have you done all your work? If the answer to that is no, then I would say, put in order what you can put in order. It's like, well, you have a problem. Okay, what's the problem? What are its constituent elements? What are the smallest implementable steps that we could take to start to address the problem? Implement the best plan that you have at hand. That's it. You'll learn. It won't be the right plan. It doesn't matter. You'll learn. Implementing that plan, you'll learn a whole bunch, and then the next plan you make will be better. Implement the best plan you have at hand. Don't remain in stasis. You get old way, way faster than you think. Time ticks away, man. Get at it. Get out there in the world. Have your adventure. Get the hell out there. Do something. Fail. Fail while you're trying. Then you'll learn why you failed. Then you won't have to fail again. It's like, aim at something and progress towards it. And, be willing to change your aim, because what the hell do you know? But aim at something, and then at least you're oriented. And you have to aim at something that you believe would be worth trying. So yeah, get at it, man. Don't waste time.